Mark Lloydbottom, and I'd like to welcome you to this series of videos in which we're going to look at ways in which you can improve your firm's service, ways in which you can improve your firm's billing, profitability, and winning new clients. This profession of ours, the profession that we love, has been around for hundreds of years. Do you know that it started in some respects over 500 years ago when Luca Pacioli, that Italian monk, first codified the double entry bookkeeping system, bringing together all the single entry systems that had been used up until that point. Somewhere in the region of 200 years ago, the first Taxes Acts were passed. And then the baby of our service, the audit, was a service that emanated out of Scotland in the region of about 100 years ago, when Scottish merchant venturers wanted to track their assets. And of course today, the latest of our services, the audit, is one that is evaporating and withering on the vine as audit thresholds are increasing, and therefore the amount of compliance work that we have is reducing. Do you know, as accountants, it has been our vocation and our calling to take an historical view. We look at last year's income for tax return purposes. We look at last year's sales and costs when we prepare last year's profit and loss account. And we're going to be looking in these DVDs at a number of ways in which you can take a more futuristic view of your client's business and their finances. How can you position yourself so that you are more involved in the client's present and future planning? 95% of most firms' time is spent looking at the past. And so, as somebody who used to be in practice, as somebody who built up PracticeTrack, one of the United Kingdom's preeminent marketing firms, and then subsequently the founder of PracticeWeb, the UK's leading internet service for accountants, how can I help you in the management of your practice? Well, I'd like to introduce you to a series of management training solutions that I believe will enable me to help you in the management of your practice. The first management tool I'd like to introduce you to is this one. This is Defining Edge. Defining Edge is not just a manual with 160 pages in, but it comes complete with a series of either 6 DVDs or 6 CDs. And on these discs you will find that I am going through and giving you ideas which are recorded in the manual but are brought to life with the live seminar audience that attended the day that I recorded these programs. What will you find in Defining Edge? Well, the first thing we look at is our firm's accounting module. Our model is called the Lubrum model, and we'll be discussing this on one of the next videos that you will be able to watch here on the internet. We move from looking at the Lubrum model to challenging you and asking the question, what have you learned to make yourself more valuable to your clients? We move swiftly on from that to look at ways in which you can improve serving your clients. Your clients have been challenged by difficult trading economies, and it's important that we do all we can as accountants to help our clients improve their profitability, improve their cash flow, and above all, improve their personal service to clients. Do you know that in surveys I've done in the United Kingdom, in Africa and America, I find the same wherever I ask this question. And the question is simply this: how long do you spend face to face, eyeball to eyeball, kneecap to kneecap with your clients? The answer I hear very often is no more than 60 minutes. And so what we want to try and do in Defining Edge is to focus on how we can develop outstanding client service. We move on from looking at client service to looking at how you can bill what you're worth and collect what you bill. There's no point in giving great service if you don't get well remunerated for it. And then finally, Defining Edge looks at how you can market your business. Or let's get to the bottom line, how you can win more profitable business. That will be partly from looking at more business from your existing clients, but also we're going to look at how you can win new clients. Well, that's a quick overview of Defining Edge. My second program is called Power Up Your Gross Margin. And in Power Up Your Gross Margin, we look specifically at some of the ways in which you can improve job pricing, job profitability. The basis for this material came from work I did with 3 or 4 firms in the United Kingdom. When I was working with these firms, I didn't just work with the partners. I had the opportunity to work with somewhere in the region of 30 or 40 managers. They really showed me what was happening at grassroots level. And so you will find this 2 CD program and manual packed with practical ideas. The program is great for firm owners, but it is specifically intended to help managers and bring them into the process of showing how they can reduce the time on jobs and how you can minimize the write-downs. Finally, I'd like to introduce you to my latest products. On the internet, you'll see a program called Deeper. In many respects, this is a program which I personally regard as one of the best products I've ever produced. Look at the samples and you'll see that your manual is printed in full color. But Deeper isn't just a manual. I regard it as a system. As you open the inside of Deeper, you will be amazed at what you find. Now, I don't want to spoil the experience, but I'd like you to know that if you buy Deeper, you will also receive copyright clearance with all of the marketing ideas that you will find inside the Deeper manual. Do you know, for maybe 1 or 2 chargeable hours, you can invest in a manual which has got over 240 pages, 3 CDs and 1 DVD, which includes a film that I made of Mark Mitchell. Mark is one of the leading card distributors in the United Kingdom. He has won countless awards for client service. Learn not just from Mark, but also other people that we introduce you to, other organizations where you can see what they are doing, and it'll challenge you to maybe think how you could do things differently. And finally, at the end of this YouTube clip, I'd like to say this to you. Remember that you are your client's #1 advisor. And you owe it to your clients as well as to yourself and your staff to make sure that you are well trained, well equipped and up to date, not just with your technical expertise, but also in how to run a good business. Because in doing so, that will qualify you to give your clients good business advice. I look forward to seeing you on our next YouTube clip. Thank you for listening so far.